What is going on, people? Welcome to episode 3 of Betting in the Trenches. My name is Mike Klean. I am your host, aka Major Playz, and I am joined not only by the Sharp Dimes, but special guest Midwest Mike. What's going on, guys? How we doing?
We're good, man. We're good. Good night last night. Mike,
good.
We're happy to have you, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, we are very, very happy to have you on, man. I mean, just to be able to watch you guys on Twitter, wherever you guys are at, Instagram, BetSperts, Book It. You guys are very successful sports bettors. And for me to be able to host a show with both of you on here, it's just I feel like I'm going to learn just as much as the viewers. It's going to be great.
Got a good crew, man. We got all the mics. We're all named Mike. It's beautiful. Mike in the morning or afternoon, depending on where the hell you are. But yeah, it's a dope connection.
I love it. We're coming for that ESPN show, Mike in the morning.
Let's get it, baby.
So Midwest Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into the game, you know, how you've become so damn successful and making us all look bad.
So I've been doing this for I'd say about 5 to 6 years or so. Started out pretty small. I was actually working at a car dealership at the time, and there was a guy who owned a bunch of dealerships that was a bookie and set me up with originally just a $500 credit line. And that's how it kind of got started, just kind of doing it recreationally, and then just fell in love with it. I've always been a sports guy, sports fanatic. I grew up playing basketball and just kind of accelerated from there. My biggest thing at first was just staying disciplined. I think that's the biggest thing at first, is not chasing, and, you know, you just gotta be disciplined. So started out pretty small and just kind of worked the units up from there. And currently betting $1,000 per unit right now. And that just increased here in January. So I was doing $500 a unit, and that just bumped it up to $1,000 a unit. From Minnesota, I went to school at the U of M, 34 years old. And yeah.
I love it, man. That is an accomplishment. $1,000 a unit. That is definitely my goal as a sports bettor. So, you know, I just want to mention to anybody who is viewing, comment in the sections. This is what we are doing this for. Throw a comment in the chat, and we want to interact with you guys. So tell us about your best plays for the weekend. Tell us a little recap. If you guys need any, you know, advice about betting or want any expertise about some basic stuff, throw it in there. We want to interact with you guys. That's what we do this for. And let's just get into a little recap. So Sharp, why don't you start off with your recap? How'd you do this weekend? How'd you do on the last show? And are you feeling confident coming into March?
Yeah, I'm so first of all, like Major Playz said, clear out my old that man ass throat over here. Comment anything. Tell us about your big wins. Tell us about your bad beats. Hopefully not many. And any questions you got, whether it's plays, tips, anything. But we want to hear about you guys too. The weekend was shitty, man. You know, I got smacked again for the second weekend in a row. I mean, I was 13-5 heading into Friday, and then, bro, I almost lost it all unit-wise over the weekend. But yesterday we swept. We had the Blazers as the boat play, which, if anyone follows me, it's a 4-unit play. I went to sleep at halftime. I woke up in the morning, and I never go to sleep on these games. I woke up in the morning, got on ESPN, not Action, and I did that really slow scroll where I'm looking at the teams, and I'm like, okay, Blazers. Oh, Hornets aren't highlighted. Okay, they got 111. Oh, 123. So, I mean, it was a great sweep, right? I mean, those are good to come into March with. This is my time of year, man. I'm a big college basketball guy. We got the tourney. Games right now mean a lot for the tourney. Super Tuesdays today. It's a packed slate. I got a couple of plays I'm looking at. I got one play already locked in. Y'all know about me. I see some Michigan State in the comments already. I got a very theatrical standpoint on that game, but I don't want to take everything. Appreciate the love on the D-backs hat. Yo, Zach, I lived there for 7 years, man. Got a shout out. Mike, you doubled someone's bankroll, Midwest Mike. There you go. Your boy Big Freddie, you doubled them up. So, hey, that's what's up. But yeah, I'm feeling really good, man. I'm feeling really good.
I love to hear it, man. Midwest, how you coming into March, baby?
So ended the month strong. Sunday was a monster day. Sunday finished up 11.7 units. I last week finished up 12.9. So that ended February at plus just 4.09 units. So it wasn't a great February. Wasn't the February that I was hoping for. But nonetheless, ended Sunday strong. So at least we finished in the green. January was up 17.69 units, February 4.09. So year to date up close to 22 units. So not a good start yesterday, down about 4.6, 4.7 units. But today's a new day.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, man. Good for you. That is fantastic. On the last show, I gave out some winners. I was coming into the show ice cold. Sharp told me, he's like, man, the heater's coming. Just wait on it. And it did. I was 3-1-1 on the last show, plus 5.57 units on those plays that I gave out. And since Friday, 10-3-1, plus 17.44 units. So definitely coming in hot. I had one play yesterday, Denver Nuggets, and it cashed. It was a 2.5 unit spot, and it literally cashed on the Jamal Murray free throw. Otherwise, it would have been a push. It was fantastic. So I'm feeling a little confidence coming into March for sure. And we have, like Sharp said, an insane slate today. NCAA, NBA, NHL. Like always, let's kick it off with NBA. We got a few comments in here. What's the best online sports book in your guys' opinion? I personally use DraftKings, or if you got, a hook up with the local, that's always a decent spot.
Tank Ace, are you in a state that has it legally, or are you looking for like what type of book? Personally, yeah. I'm in Minnesota, so like I have a local book, but what I'll do for like parlays and stuff is use Heritage. And I deposit and withdraw exclusively with Bitcoin, and they have some really good bonuses and benefits. So maybe something to look into.
Solid. Yeah, I normally use DraftKings. I do have a local guy as well, but I always say DraftKings just because it's legal here in Chicago, and let's just leave it at that. So why don't we get started with the NBA Midwest? We will lead off with you. Why don't you tell us the plays that you've already placed, ones you're looking at, anything you want to cover? Let's start it off.
All right. Today I'm eyeing 1 to 2 NBA plays. The one I am on for sure is going to be a 3-unit max play. I'm on a 3-game roll here with the 3-game max plays. So with the 3-unit max plays. So looking to keep that rolling. I am going to be on the Suns +2 tonight in the big game, primetime game versus the Lakers. The Suns are 20-6 against the spread the last 26. They're 4-0 against the spread the last 4 road games. 10-1 against the spread the last 11 with versus winning teams that are 600 or better winning percentage. And right now, this is a huge game for the Suns. I think they went they're 22-11, I think is their record right now. They're a half game behind the Clippers. They're in the fourth seed right now, and a game behind the Lakers. And heading into the All-Star break, these two teams are kind of trending in opposite directions. Phoenix had a hell of a February, going 11-3 straight up and against the spread. The Lakers, I think this is the time to make that money, kind of going against the Lakers, which is a weird feeling, saying that. But with AD out, he's not going to be back till after the All-Star break here, and I think it's just it's a great spot to fade the Lakers and take the Suns, and the Suns are like the Utah Jazz right now, in my opinion. So. And I'm gonna hop on that. That's gonna be a 3-unit max play for me.
I love it, man. I was looking at that game earlier, and I did a whole breakdown on it. My initial look was the Lakers. I was like, okay, this defense is starting to play good. Schroeder's back. Obviously, he brings a whole new element with AD being out. LeBron was basically on an island. No one else could score. Kuzma shows up when he wants. And with Schroeder coming back, I figure, all right, they're starting to get that mojo back. They covered both spots that I was on their last 2 games. So I was very happy about that. But the more I dove deeper into it, I was like, the Suns look fantastic. I cannot ignore the fact that roster just simply has more scorers on it than the Lakers do right now. And I just don't know if that Lakers defense can cover everybody. Sharp, you got any angle on this game at all?
I mean, I'm not on the game, but everything Mike said and you said, I mean, yeah, the Suns, dude, that young team's coming together. DeAndre Ayton, I watched him a lot in University of Arizona. They needed that piece, man. Devin Booker. Chris Paul, man, they needed him too, man. They needed a guy like that to facilitate the offense, run the tempo. He's a good guy. When he's not being a cancer in the locker room with guys like James Harden, I mean, that was he said, I heard he said that James Harden had big nipples because he was getting fat. And they were like beefing, bro. It was crazy. You can't have that, man. You know, James Harden's, stripper and wings mentality, man. That wasn't a good fit. But I think the Suns are really coming together. And I think, like Mike said, sometimes the line is really dictated on brand value, and the Lakers have brand value. Everyone's thinking that, LeBron's there, Schroeder's back, but without AD, it's kind of tough right now, and they're not playing like, middle of the road teams. They're playing really good teams. So I love the spot. I'm not on it. But if I did take the bet, I would roll with you guys on that one for sure.
If you look at the Lakers wins, the Lakers are 5-8 against the spread in February. If you look at the Lakers wins, they beat Golden State, who does not have a good defense. They beat Portland. They beat the Timberwolves, Memphis, OKC twice, Detroit, Denver, and that's for February. So really, the games they've been winning have been Detroit, OKC, the Timberwolves, Golden State, Portland, and I'm not impressed. The last game, Booker, he went off for 43 points. DeAndre Ayton, 22 points, 10 boards. Chris Paul, 11 points, 15 assists. I mean, they're coming together. So
put some respect on the Suns' name. I see some guys in the comments. Phoenix, bro. Yeah, man. There's some new blood in the West, bro. Phoenix got it. They got the juice like that, as Drake would say. They got the juice, bro. You got to give respect where they're due, man.
They've had it ever since the bubble.
Yeah, dude, and quality of wins, bro. That's a big capping angle. And, we're going to sprinkle some education in here. Quality of wins is good. Mike rattling off the ATS record for the Lakers complements the teams they've played. You can't just rattle that off and not have more in-depth trends. Have more in-depth trends. And Mike is showing a perfect example of that when he's talking about the ATS record. They haven't played anyone. They can't handle a team like the Suns, bro. They just can't handle them right now. Not right now. So I do like the play. I'm not on it, but, Mike, you're throwing that shit on my radar, bro. I ain't going to lie to you. It's a really good angle you have there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might tell you as well. I did not make a decision, like I said, on that game. But Midwest, are you on anything else tonight in the NBA?
Not really. Haven't pulled the trigger on anything. Kind of honestly looking at the Bucks and maybe Memphis, but right now just the Suns. For
sure. Sharp, how you looking in the NBA tonight?
Yeah, I got one play I want to talk about where the comments are asking. But let me get to some of these comments real quick to catch up. If this Big Freddie, if he can't bet the regulation money line on a sports book, so I switch up. Hell yeah, bro. Have you seen them hockey lines? You get way less juice betting regulation. If you're betting a heavy favorite and they got to go to OT, bro, you weren't on the right side. So yeah, switch it up. There's a lot of books out there. Y'all see my tickets. I'm on a local, but there's a lot of different books out there. Now, DraftKings, FanDuel, they're like legal, but if you're looking for offshore, do not go to Bovada because they juice the hell out of the favorites. BetOnline.ag, that's a solid book. I recommend that as a good online book if you can't find a good local. BetOnline.ag, super, super solid. What was your reason behind the Cuse last night? I was on the heels and really did like them. That's from Zach Powell. Honestly, outside of the flat spot, UNC's road record, at Cuse, bro, that 2-3 zone is going to work one time. And with Duke on deck, I felt like UNC might be looking ahead a little bit. They've had some big wins. I thought that Florida State win was a bit fluky, not because I was on it, but I was on it. So I didn't think that Syracuse was gonna let UNC do what they're good at, and that zone really stopped them. UNC showed they couldn't shoot. In my realm of capping. That was the one weakness I think UNC has. They can't shoot the ball. I knew that zone was going to make them shoot, and obviously UNC shot a lot lower than I wanted them to, which is good for us. But yeah, that's kind of how that Syracuse game went down, and me and Mike collabed on it. Mike had a great angle as well there, and it worked out really well. Do we ever bet golf from Bradley D? Do you guys bet golf?
No, I have a
No?
buddy. If you actually go to the Major Playz YouTube page, I actually did do a show with my one buddy who studies the game of golf. It's all he does. He loves it. It was a 2-hour show. I know it's a lot, but it had chapters in there about the Masters. And that is the only dude that I know that bets golf. So, maybe if there's a demand, we might be able to get him on.
We got a shout out for Palmer's Picks up here. I've seen him on BetSperts. I think he's a hockey guy. So if you guys are on BetSperts, look up Palmer's Picks. So I don't know the guy. I'm not plugging him. The guy apparently he's on golf and he knows what he's doing. So I'm gonna give credit where it's due. Fuck, I'm not betting every damn sport. You know what I'm saying? I might not even touch hockey for the rest of the year. But that guy's he's been rocking. Dave Racer, how do I get the -half on hockey with the 60-minute line? It's an in regulation bet or a 3-way NHL money line. Those are the two types of verbiages you'll see on the book that will let you know that that's the bet, and the juice will be considerably lower. Mike gave me that tip on hockey this year, so big shouts to Mike down there. But yeah, that's what you want to look for.
Yeah, and my feeling on that regulation, guys, is like, for example, last night's the Avalanche game, for example, it opened up at like -190. You could get the regulation line at -110. So the way I look at it, I'm never gonna bet myself or recommend that any of you lay $4,000 to win $2,000 or something crazy like that. If you're on the team, you're on the team, and more than likely they're going to win in regulation or not. And with all that juice, that's a whole nother bet you could do. So to lay that much juice on an NHL game to me is just crazy. And that's why you'll see most of my bets are in regulation. The only time I'll ever take the puck line is if it's like a -340 favorite or something. And the regulation then is like -190 or something like that. So parlays is different, but straight bets, look at those regulation bets. Just like last night on the Blues, cash that +115 versus paying, -130, 140 juice. So you save a lot of money and win a lot more.
Yeah, and 3-way money line, Big Freddy, that's what it's called. It's a 3-way money line. You're 100% right. Or in regulation. If you see those two, it's the same thing. I see some of Mike's bets where they let him buy 6 points. Is that common?
That's just on parlays, and that's on Heritage Sports. So it depends on which book you got. A lot of books don't let you buy that many. A lot of books will let you only buy a couple points or something like that. I've done that in parlays before, but never on a straight bet would I do that.
Alternative lines give you that too sometimes. So look at alternative lines. It depends on your book. I know DraftKings, they do alternative lines, right, Major? They let you do alternative lines. So I mean, I don't know if you can parlay that, but if you can, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, you can get almost as many lines as you want in a game. You just go to game lines on DraftKings, and it's ridiculous. You got to look at it to see it, but yeah, you could definitely get alternative lines on DraftKings.
Let me get to the question you asked. What NBA am I on? The one game I'm looking at is my hometown heroes, the New York Knicks. I'm really looking at that play. Now, I'm late to the party because at +3, I would have loved it. At +2, I would have loved it. At a pick 'em, I would have loved it. I still love them to win. But right now, at this point, even if I'm on the game, I want to see if there's some Spurs buyback. And yeah, it's taking a little bit of a risk, but it's still damn early, 11 a.m. in the morning. Being patient outside of being disciplined in this game is big. There's waves of money that come in. They say early money, sharp money. Yeah, sometimes late sharp money comes in too. But there's waves of money that come in throughout the day. We're talking about a 4.5 point move here. Eventually, this is me hoping. I'm gambling on the gamble. In essence, I'm gambling that we get some buyback. And even if it's a half point, I want it, bro. I'm big on getting close to that opening line. I'm in no rush. It ain't the first to bet it wins. You winning the bet. So I'm hoping for some buyback. If it gets down to a pick 'em, yeah. And people may say, why not get the -1? Well, why the hell would I want the -1 if I get a pick 'em? There's no essence in rushing. Unless I see it surging to 2.5, then that's a different story. But I think it's early enough in the day that I can wait. So that's the one NBA game I'm on. Other than that, there's no other NBA game I'm going to touch. There's nothing else on my radar. That would be, if it's a play, it's the Knicks, and it's going to be 2 units.
I love it, man. I was definitely looking at the Knicks earlier this morning at that +3, but now that it's shifted so much, I think I'll enjoy the watch. As far as a play that I am on tonight, I am on the Clippers versus Celtics. Clippers -4, -110, and it's going to be a 3-unit spot for me. Clippers are coming in after a loss against Milwaukee. It was prime time on Sunday. They lost 105 to 100. Okay. Clippers are 12-6 on the road. Full lineup should be playing tonight. And, Paul George is coming off of a pretty poor shooting night against the Bucks. 7 for 21, 2 for 10 from 3. And, they climbed back in that game, but they just couldn't close. And, they stuck at that 100 or 98, I believe. And the Bucks ended up being able to close it. They're 15-6 against the spread in their last 21 Tuesday games, 22-10 against the spread in their last 32 road games, 8-3 against the spread in their last meetings in Boston. Celtics are coming off 2 wins against the Pacers and the Wizards, 1-1 against the spread in those 2 games, 10-5 at home. As we all know, they've been super inconsistent this season, and you just really don't know what Celtics team you're going to get on a nightly basis. 9-4 against the spread in their last 13 home games, 1-4 against the spread their last 5 games overall. These 2 teams did play before earlier in February on the 5th. Celtics won the matchup 119 to 115. But the Clippers were without Paul George. So with Paul George in that lineup, Clippers coming off a loss against the Bucks, which they basically had that game won if they could have hit a couple shots at the end. I like the Clippers to cover that 4, and it is my best NBA spot of the night. So I am definitely on that one, and then I am also on the Nuggets +7. It's going to be a 2-unit spot for me, and I know it might be against the public. Most people will probably be on the Bucks here, but I'm on the Nuggets +7. I just think it's a spot that they can cover. Nuggets are coming into the game off 2 wins against OKC and the Bulls. Obviously, they've been inconsistent as well, but that's been due to injury and health protocol. Jamal Murray has been hot and cold this season. He's kind of started slow, and I think if he comes out tonight and plays a good game and starts fast with Jokic just playing out of his mind, I think that they have enough to cover 7 against the Bucks. The Bucks are coming in on a 5-game win streak. They completely turned it around after a 5-game losing streak. Their only quality win has been against the Nuggets. They've played some rough teams. The Clippers are their only quality win since the Nuggets in earlier February. So getting Drew Holiday back is obviously huge for them, but I really see that Jamal Murray has obviously a better shooting night than when they played last time, and I just think that it's enough. They have enough to cover against the Bucks. Do I think they get the win? I don't. I still think the Bucks win, but I think it's a lot closer than some people are thinking. So I'm on the Nuggets +7 there.
This is the biggest line Denver's faced all year. It's the highest line.
And the Nuggets are my team. I just love betting them. They got that 2-man game with Jamal and Jokic at the end, and I just love it. Their close games obviously haven't been falling their way as they were obviously in the bubble and late last year. They were a closeout team. You wanted those 2 guys in the final 2 minutes, but I just think that they're starting to maybe get a little mojo going. And, I just think that they have enough to cover. And we've seen the Bucks, win a game, like I say, against the Pelicans a couple days ago, where they didn't cover that 11, so I think that this is one of those spots where the Bucks just don't cover.
Yeah. It's a lot of points. Drew, they got their boy back, but hey, they got to show us something. Nuggets is still a damn good team.
And he's probably going to be restricted again. He's going to be restricted.
A little bit, so. But that's a lot of points. We'll see, though. I would take the Nuggets into points. Speaking of books, I know we talked about like offshore books and stuff. I have a local book. I have another local that I work with as well. So if anyone's interested, not a plug, but DM me and I can get you on a local if that's what you want. They offer every type of line, and more than happy to get you guys plugged up if needed, for sure. So more than happy to do that. But we do have a lot of comments here and a lot of questions that I think we can all jump on. First of all, we got Nicky Picks in here. What's up, my dude? That guy's a solid hockey guy. Knows his NBA as well. Mike, you collabed with him on the Blackhawks, right?
The Blackhawks on Sunday and the Blues last night. So we're 2-0 in our collab plays. What's up, Nicky?
Yeah, he's in here showing love, man. Thoughts? Okay, so people want to know if we talked on college basketball yet. No, we will get to college basketball. We'll circle back to Baylor. We got this marked down, but let's get to some of these questions because I like these. What does that mean? Sharp money. Also, if you see the line opens at 3 and goes to 6, what's that? I'll leave with that, man. Sharp money it's really tough. Depending on your resources, it's really tough to see, like, okay, what's sharp money? If you go to sleep and it's -3 and you wake up and it's -6, then yeah, probably some sharps got on there early. There's a couple of sites and I can do like a little, podcast post on resources that I use that kind of give me like sharp indicators. Not always 100% accurate, but you can tell when the line moves and then how fast it moves if it's sharp, right? It's really tough to be like, unless you got someone at the book, and I thankfully do in Jersey, I get some kind of sharp, messages from him. But there's a million books out there online. Shops can move the book, local shops can move the or move the line rather. So it depends. Usually the quickness of it will kind of dictate that. But there's a lot of resources you can use that are out there that I'm more than happy to share that kind of give you an indication on when sharp money's coming in. But let's not get it twisted. All sharp money ain't good money in terms of the right side of the bet. Still do your research, okay? If you want to get on games early and you're up late and you have that luxury being up late, I don't, I'm up midnight and look at the games, mark them down. And sometimes by the morning, you got to think who's up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning hitting these games. Ain't regular guys. So, use your logic in it as well. But that's the best way I can answer that. I don't know if you guys can comment on that further.
Well, yeah, and it's not always sharp money either. You got to look at the injury reports, stuff like that. Somebody could have been ruled in, ruled out, kind of like the Illinois game tonight. Don't know if he's playing or not, but once that is decided, then, that line could move.
Exactly. And you really never know in the NBA. I know I got burned one game in particular. It was with the Nuggets. I was on the Nuggets and Jamal Murray was out of the game 10 minutes before tip off. So the NBA, you just never know if one guy is going to be, out, or obviously with COVID and everything going on, they could test them right before the game and then they got to get pulled off the court. So just speaking on that, and also Sharp, I'm the guy that's up at 3 o'clock in the morning looking at games.
See, you guys,
I'm in that crowd,
dude. He's in that crowd, man.
Vampire hours.
Yeah, he's vampire hours, man. It's good to get those lines early. Not all of them, but it's good. It's good to have that. We got another question here. I think this is one that we'll all have an opinion on. I love this question. How do you decipher what games to bet? Is there something particular that stands out and certain? I won't lead this one. I've been leading all of them. So, Major, what would you say is a game that sticks out? Is it familiarity? Is the line on the board different than what you have it at?
So it really depends. It really depends on the situation. A lot of it is familiarity. If you've been watching a team and you've seen them on TV, or you got, you have the privilege of watching them every single night. Obviously, like me being from Chicago, I think that I have a better beat on the Chicago Blackhawks than somebody else that doesn't get to watch them on a nightly basis. So there's familiarity that always plays into it. Then there's, has this team lost a certain amount of games? Are they getting guys back from injury? Is there going to be an added boost, a bounce back spot? That always plays into, okay, this is kind of on my radar. Let me look deeper into it. And then obviously, you just, like you said, you look at all the games and you kind of pick out which ones you're familiar with, or, which ones you think is like a bounce back spot, at least for me. And then you line it and you see where you're at. Do you think that it's a missed line? Do you think that there's an opportunity? And if you do have the privilege of, catching the lines early and looking at the market movement, there's always that. So it's so much plays into it. Injury reports, trends. you know, a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
Midwest.
bring up good
What
points.
do you think?
I'm a big spot guy. Like I'm always looking for some angle to bet. It's kind of like my angle tonight on the Suns. I think it's a great spot for the Suns, and a bad spot for the Lakers. Big spot guy. I will look at some projection type stuff. That's a very small percentage, but pretty much you gotta look at every angle. I agree with you, Major. You got to look at trends. You got to look at spots. You got to look at injury reports. You got to take all that stuff into consideration. And once the game kind of, as Sharp would say, checks the boxes, checks all the boxes, and that's when you kind of decide, okay, am I going to pull the trigger on this or not, or fade it, or take it?
Yeah, that's a good point. So here's, and this is kind of a mix of you guys. You hear the line a lot, yo, how is Vegas this good? Bro, it's not hard to make a line. So here's a story on how I can attest to that. My girl hates what I do, in essence, right in the beginning. But, living with her, she kind of gets, in a way into it, right? She has a lot of shit going on. Way better job than way further along than I'll get in my 9 to 5. And she started predicting the lines 3 weeks in. Legit, by a half point. She doesn't know nothing about the injuries. She knows the teams, the records, doesn't watch. Vegas isn't good at setting the lines because any of us can set it. Any of us can. And this incorporates to how I qualify. So I'm just trying to give a nice little backstory. It's not hard to predict the lines, especially on teams There's a lot of times you're like, okay, this better be 5 in NFL. And it's 5.5. What Vegas is good at is moving the lines. That's what they're good at. And that's why when you see a game, and all of us can attest to that, whether you're new or not, you're going to look at a game and be like, oh, that line's a little odd. Just off eye test. I pull those to the side, and then I start qualifying. And it's a mix of familiarity. So if it's like maybe 5 games on the board on all the sports that I do, and those 5 games are teams I know, and the line's a little odd, yo, they're coming in level B with me. We're bringing you to the nice land right now. Let's bring you in the house. You know what I'm saying? Take care of you. Let's see who's the cream of the crop. Then I do another qualifier. So like usually it's a mix of familiarity, the line looking a little odd, and that's total and or spread, because you can all guess the lines. I mean, it's not hard to guess it. Vegas is good at moving lines, not setting lines, in my opinion. Sometimes the lines are odd, and that's what makes me pull. So, you trust your eye test, of course, but have your qualifying methods. And everyone's going to have their own style. My style is different from Midwest Mike. Midwest Mike's style is different from Major Playz, and vice versa. So find your own style. There's going to be overlap that we all look at, of course. But there's going to be certain styles you have at qualifying, whether it's a system, another system, whatever it is. But that's how I pick the games. That's how I pick them out.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on the sport too. I think it depends on the sport. Like, let's see here, David Racer XDJ1. Yeah, I mean, looking at the goalie, that's huge. I've done that a lot, made a lot of money. For example, I've the goalie for what's his name, the Ottawa backup goalie, Sharp. Who is that? Remember, I've talked about. I faded him a lot.
Bro, the Ottawa backup goalie. Google it. I don't know, but yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm off hockey.
I've texted you that I faded him a lot, made a lot of money fading him. MLB coming up, starting pitchers. That's where kind of MLB and NHL are a little different, depending who's starting in net or who's starting on the hill, and that's stuff you got to look at too.
Can't wait for baseball, yo! Oh my god, I love baseball. Outside of college basketball, probably the sport I know I know it more. I know the personnel, the players. I mean, I grew up playing baseball. I love baseball. Love baseball. So yeah, good point. But I'm excited for baseball.
I'm 100% going to be hosting and just sitting back and letting you guys talk about baseball.
Dude.
I have not bet baseball once.
What?
in the World Series, I dabbled and I did pretty good, but I've never bet baseball.
If you like hockey,
I have a lot to learn.
If you like hockey, it's not the same by any stretch. The money line's a little juicy. There ain't no 9-inning bets, but there's a slight overlap. Slight. You should look into the baseball this year, man, for real.
Oh, I will. Major Playz, we cover it all. We got to cover it all here.
Yeah.
We
got a funny comment, by the way, not to cut you off, Major.
No, go for it. The comments
This
are what
one,
we're
this
here
one,
for.
yeah, it is. This one's funny. Woman, another topic for another day, but we're gonna touch on it now. My wife's tolerant in my betting for now. Winning helps. Let me comment on that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the exact term what my girl said, but basically, money ain't shit is what she said. I'm like, oh damn. So for me, I mean, you see my numbers, man. It's just like the time, bro. Like manage your time, bro. Don't watch the games, bro. If it's gonna be a pain in the ass, you're gonna do all your capping during work. Whether your wife or girl works or not, you're working. You can maneuver looking at the games. I don't watch the games, yo. And maybe it's a mix of the girl and some, she's been a little lenient, but like don't watch the games. Watch it the next day to get film on it, but you don't got to watch the games. If you get like 10 minutes of watch game time per game per night that you're on, if that makes sense. If it's a close game, look at the scores on the phone. You don't be on your phone a lot. Maybe I look at my shit like every 30, 40 minutes, I'll look at the score. If it's close, I'll put it on. That's my 10 minutes. You don't have to watch the games. And I think that's where the time aspect for betting, when you have a significant other, really kind of like get you in trouble because you want to watch the games. And that's tough to say, don't watch the games, but would you rather watch the games and not cap or cap and not watch the games? I don't give a shit about watching the games. Whatever's going to happen, happens. Next day, I watch the film, no commercial, fast forward of the game. I'll post a site for that. And I just do my study on it. I don't gotta watch the games. So that's the advice I can give. Mike, I know you got more of a collective household than me. So like what's your thing on time management? Are you watching the games? Do you have a long leash?
I
I want to answer that because people are watching. What's your advice? Because it's a big topic no one talks about. It really is.
Right. It really is. I started out, so I'm married now, and started out, constantly being on my phone. And it did cause some disruption in our relationship. And that's something that I had to work on. It's just like being disciplined betting. You gotta be disciplined. Obviously you want to be able to bet, but you can't sacrifice your relationship, because of that. And I got 3 kids. I got another one on the way, actually, just found out. So
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. So I got a lot going on, and yeah, I agree with you, Sharp. Check it every 30, 40 minutes. And, if it's close, and there's 2 minutes left, yeah, then maybe, either watch it or have it on your phone and see what happens. But trust me, the girls will be a lot more okay with you betting if you're not constantly on your phone and make it a second job just watching the games. You know what I mean? So
yeah, good point. Very good point. Time management, yo. It's real. You don't gotta watch the damn games. If you get the luxury to do it, cool. But I'm telling you, man, ain't nothing gonna happen during the game you can do. You're not gonna live bet it unless you're a live better. You're already on the game. There's no reason to watch a game, in my opinion. I mean, I guess it sounds crazy. If I'm out with the boys, yeah. Last few minutes left, yeah. But yo, you did all the work. Watch the scores, and that's it. Enjoy life. You can't make betting your life, even though it's fun and it's amazing. You got a passion for it, no matter what kind of bettor you are. Dude, do not watch the games. Trust me. It's crazy to say, but your girl's gonna go to bed. You got ESPN on the night highlights. I know it sucks not seeing it in real time, but use that method. Check the scores every half hour, 20 minutes. Gets close, put it on. Yo, your life's gonna be a lot easier. Trust me.
Or if you got a girl that's really into sports, you're lucky. I think the last game that I watched with my wife was actually the Dodgers World Series, and that's because I had a pretty substantial size bet on the game. And then when it cashed, she was happy. But
my numbers are unknown to a lot of my inner circle. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
It's just like the little secret. And I mean, with the way my name's been ringing now, all ego aside, it's a little tough, but you know what I'm saying? Like, no one needs to know everything. I get it. For Mike, it's different than me, but like, yo, for me, it was the capping. And it's like, yeah, I can explain everything else, but it's the time that's always the biggest drain stuff. But yeah, just manage your time, man. That's a good thing. We'll jump off that. But Major, do you have to worry about that, man? Do you have
I don't. I'm very lucky.
There you go.
Yeah, I agree with you guys wholeheartedly. And if you guys got a lot of shit going on, yeah, obviously don't watch the games. Like, who cares? But You know, I am lucky that I have a girlfriend that lets me watch the games, and I get to go nuts, and I have buddies over at her house, and, you know, we get to hang out, and, you know, she enjoys it. So I actually got her betting. She was cashing and she was tailing my plays. She's like, all right, let's go. I want this bankroll doubled. I'm like, hey,
patience.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah. But even if I just like to live life, man. And we all like to do other stuff outside of betting.
Of course.
I mean, I would play it this way no matter what. I like to, I'm a big experience guy. Anyways, y'all get it, man. Manage your time. Don't watch all the damn games. You got a really big bet in the game. Watch the game. Other than that, man, manage your time. I know it's tough. It takes practice. And that's all I'll say about that. Okay, let's get to some of these other questions. That was a great question, by the way. I'm going to do that on another stream. Bradley, what is the average time you spend on each bet? Depends, bro.
Depends.
Completely
depends.
That depends on your style. It depends on how many check boxes you got to check. Now, for me, the reason why my check boxes and the way I leak games throughout the day is some info ain't ready for me yet. You know, I like to get all the info in front of me, and sometimes as the day goes, it goes, you know. And obviously, you predicting where the line's going to move for or against you is a big part of it as well. So that's a tough one to answer. Now, we're talking about the research, the math, and the analytics. I mean, I'd say about half hour on just that, and then everything else is like, per case by case, right? Have all the info you need before making a play. Feel comfortable with that, but that time can skew. Hopefully I answered your question. I know that's a loaded one, but
yeah, it really all depends. It all depends. There's so many things that develop throughout the day as well, if you're not on it like early in the morning.
I guess what I can say is don't look at a play and try to make it a play. Either you like it or not. You know what I mean? Just because the game's on prime time, I need to find an angle here. I need to
victim of that.
Dude, that is crazy.
It's on. I'm watching. Man. I have to bet on something.
Don't make a play. Like, that is a perfect dude. In my early years, outside of being the worst chaser ever, I got some. You think you guys are bad at chasing? I got some stories that blow your fucking socks off down the roulette. All right, like, yo, real bad. So we're trying to pass this along as we learned that. I didn't start betting 1,000 to you. Me and Mike almost have a similar story. He's been in this for 5+ years. I've been in this one with 7. Yep. He's 34. I'm gonna be 34 in May. We just started a year ago betting 1,000 to you. Same here. It's almost the same thing, but it took time and all these bad lessons that we had to learn with our own money. Trying to pass along to you. It's tough not to do it, but yeah, don't make a play. That's one that I was a victim of as well. Don't make a play. Sometimes you only have 2 plays. And I'm a low volume guy. It's easy to say that, but I never used to be low volume. I used to do parlays all the time. I mean, again, way early in the day, just learn the lessons. It's a grind, bro. It's a grind.
It is. It definitely is a grind. And I Sharp, I always talk to you about this ever since meeting you, going through being more high volume, trying to, get more cash, more bets. It's better sometimes, you just do 2 plays and you win them both. And you're like, all right, I would have made just as much as if I would have bet on 8 games and split.
Yeah.
So
do y'all want to make money or do y'all want to watch the games and have sexy? I don't care about sexy bets. I don't care about that, bro. You know what? Sexy money, bro. I that's all I give a shit about in this industry. I'm trying to make money. I ain't trying to bet the games everyone's on. If I got to bet a first quarter or first half, if it's going to make me money, that's all I care about. It don't matter how big you could do big volume. Mike does big volume. He smacks. You have your style, but don't make a play, and don't think you have to bet all the sexy games. It's all about making money. Go ahead, Mike.
You can bet on McNeese State and make money, right, Sharp?
Yo, yeah. Oh yeah, that was a great. It's good to have contacts, man. And I know that's a mix of luck and networking, but it's good to have contacts. And that McNeese play was one of my contacts that lives at the book, and he knows guys. It's cliche, but have guys, man. I have a couple guys that do shit for me. I ain't gonna front. I have a guy that lives at the book, and I have a math guy that he runs a lot of numbers for me that I can't find. We have an arrangement, and that works out. And have guys, but you don't need guys. I just do it because I've been in this game mad long, and I come across some really valuable people, and it helps cutting time and capping plays. And for me, I don't love Bath. I appreciate it. I like it a shit ton, But when there's certain numbers I need to get ran, I hit up a math guy. I'm like, this is what I need. So it's good to have guys, but that McNeese play was the guy. He opened my eyes to it, and so have guys, man.
Sharp's got a whole team, but he's got the ghostwriters over there.
I'm like Lil Wayne, man.
Sharp's got the whole team.
It's good it's good because time, like you guys saying with the lady stuff, like time is everything. You know what I mean? And it's not just with the lady or not. If you're looking at a game and you're like, oh shit, okay, this line's gonna move. I need to check all my boxes though. And you got a guy that can help with one piece and you trust them. Yeah. I think you should have a guy to help with a max of one piece per, because you still want it. Math is something that, I love. I'm not great at. And some guys are just quicker at it than me. And I'm like, it was a good contact. And even with not, I still be good, but it cuts time. And I'm all about cutting time. So, that's all it's about. But yeah, I mean, time's everything in this game. Time is everything, as you guys can tell.
Sure.
Okay, let's get to some more of these questions. This is good. This is good interaction here.
That's great.
Okay, I'm not going to get to Michigan State because I don't even know if I'm going to play my intro song. I had an intro song to why I'm on Michigan State. I think at this point I might kill that, but we'll get to that. Okay, so site you use for injuries. I use the VSIN app, VSIN. I have like one thing for a lot of different things, by the way. You're never going to find everything in one place. Like Action Network, I only use that to track my plays. That money percentage, nah. I even told Mike and Major, like there's a link on, Wager Talk. They have a live line site. You click the box under the book. It gives you, I would say, relatively accurate splits when the line change. You got to have a different thing for everything. It's annoying, but this shit ain't easy, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is not Amazon. You can't buy all your shit you need in your life on one spot. You gotta have a lot of different things. So for injuries, I use VSIN, or if you're on Twitter, Fantasy Labs. They have Fantasy Labs NBA. They're really good. But if you're looking at the moment injuries, the VSIN app is cool. Click on the game, scroll down, and their injuries at the moment updates are the best. But definitely the Fantasy Labs on Twitter. They're really good at getting official lineups out and all that. You guys have any other?
You put me on to that Fantasy Labs. I didn't even know it was didn't know it was a thing, and I use it literally every single day. Dude, I use it every day.
Yeah, I put notifications on for them. If someone's out there, click on it. Yeah,
same.
But at the moment injuries, like right now, VSIN app. What about you, Mike? Do you have anything that you can add to that as far as injuries, or?
I would, I'm with you on the Fantasy Labs as far as checking splits. You turned me on to that Wager Talk. I've been on that a lot lately and like that a lot. Action is way off. I would not look at that with anything. Trust it with a grain of salt. Best Bets Daily, just want to say thank you. He shouted out congratulations, so I appreciate it.
Let's see. So we got someone, my boy Nate, bragging about. I hate to be right about Oregon. Yeah, you were right on Oregon that night. I didn't. It was yesterday, the Arizona and Oregon game. I thought that was too many points, but Arizona, man, they're little sleepy boys out there. You know what I'm saying? It took too much ZQL, it seems. I thought they were way better than that. So big shout out to Nate. Okay, we're gonna move a little quick here before we get to the college basketball and hockey, because I know we don't want this to be forever. Before we go to the rest of our plays, 3 most important rules to betting. Discipline, definitely. I'm gonna let each of us say our one biggest thing. For me, it's discipline, for sure. Discipline all day.
Kind of ties together, but managing your bankroll managing, and not chasing. Do not chase.
Yeah, and I'm going to go on both of those, and kind of what we just talked about. Don't force it. If you lost if you lost your 2 spots for the night, and there's a late game on, and you didn't look at it, you don't care, and you're like, I got to get my money back. I'm betting on the dog. Don't do it. Stay disciplined. Go on to the next day. There's always a better spot tomorrow. And if there's not, there's going to be one the next day. You got to stay in it. You got to be in it for the long haul. And, you have to have that mentality that it's not a sprint. It's not. I mean, sure, you could hit a big bet one night and make, thousands of dollars. Sure. But on a nightly basis, that's not going to happen. So you got to be in it for the long haul, and units. You just got to keep growing those units.
There you go. Okay, let's move on to hockey.
Yeah, NHL. Does
so
anybody on a play tonight?
I'm not touching NHL for probably the rest of the year. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm just not gonna. So, Mike, take it away, man.
I'm on one tonight. I am on Tampa in regulation against the Dallas Stars. These two teams are like complete opposites right now. I mean, Tampa's on a roll. They're 4-0 in their last 4. Dallas is 1-8 in their last 9. Ben Bishop, Dallas's #1 goaltender, he's still out. They have a couple forwards still out. This isn't the same Dallas team of last year. And what's scary is this is a similar team like Tampa from last year. So I definitely see Tampa as a top 1, top 2 team. Jake Ettinger, the goalie for Dallas, he'll be starting again tonight. He lately here, I mean, just in general, the last game, yeah, he gave up 3 goals. The game before that, 3, 2-2, 3, 0-3. So this guy gives up a lot of goals, which is good for Tampa. Tampa gives up about 2.05 goals a game, and they score a ton of goals. So I see this as a pretty one-sided matchup. I know the money line, Sharp, be able to pull it up. I think the money line's like -180. Regulation should be like around that -115. I still actually,
Tampa?
yeah.
Let me pull that
I still actually got to put it in. Been a busy morning here, but I love the spot for Tampa. Dallas is just bad right now, man. They're bad, and they're beat up. They're hurt. Tampa has the best goalie in the NHL. And the thing about Tampa, they can be down 2-0, similar to like a Florida team. They can be down 2-0 and then 5 minutes later be up 4-2. They can score and put it on quick.
-110 on the regulation, by the way.
There we go. But that's a prime example of why to do in regulation. Don't lay the -180 on the money line. You know what I mean? I mean, that would be literally 1,800 to win 1,000 on the money line, or you can risk 1,100 to win in regulation. Like I said, that's a whole nother bet. That's $700 in juice right there.
Or even if you're $100 per better, which is pretty standard. You don't pay no 180 win 100. If you got to go to OT, bro, you weren't on the right side, my guy. If on juice that big, that's how I see it. I mean,
and you're going to win a lot more of those than you're going to lose. Are you going to lose some that go into overtime? Absolutely. But with all that juice that you're saving, you add up all those games, that $70, $80 every single game, that adds up quick, and you can afford to take some losses then.
Yeah. Midwest, did you ever, because you love those regulation bets, so do you ever live bet if your team does go into overtime?
Not really. I'm not much of a, if you haven't known, I'm not much of a first half, second half live bet kind of guy. I just did like a live bet 4-team parlay, just some small parlay a couple of weeks ago, and actually hit it. But the only time I'll live bet is if I got like some parlay going to win $5,000 or something, and if I'm kind of shaky, and it's down to the last leg or something, and I just want to hedge it and take 2,500 versus risking it. But I don't even usually do that. I'm a gambler, man. If it's going into overtime, and I'm gonna ride it out, and I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. So
I love it,
I'm
man.
with that.
There's a good question down here. How do you justify 1 unit? About 3 to 5% bankroll fare? What do you guys think about that?
I have a very different approach on that. So I'll lead with my crazy shit. So typically you want to say your 1 unit is like 1%, but it depends on how much you're starting with, right? So like a lot of new cats, like a lot of my friends, for example, and this is even like, guys that hit me up on Twitter, whatever. Like, if I got $1,000, what should my units be? It depends. I don't want you betting 1% of 1,000, $10. I mean, it's the right way to do it, but I like 20. Depends on like what your volume you're looking at. Are you a high guy? Are you not? Are you strictly just looking to tail someone? Because at 20 a unit, that's 50 units you got right there for $1,000. And you lose on 50 units and you scale up. So for me, I'm not a percentage guy. I'm more like how much you have in your account kind of guy. So mine's a little different. 3 to 5%. I mean, again, the right scenario is 1% of your bankroll is a unit. depending on what your scale is. Maybe you could do a 3 to 5, but like I have a different approach to that. Even though I'm big on money management, I don't really do the percentages. I do how many units you have to play with kind of thing. But that's just because my volume's low. So it's a unique way to look at it, but it kind of ties in. Mike, what would you say to that?
I'm kind of with you, man. I'm not, the 1% I mean, I agree with you. I'd start out doing this. You got to start out with probably save up, at least $1,000. And then I'm not even opposed to, maybe starting at 50 a unit. I mean, it's $1,000, right? Which, yeah, it's a lot of money, but, maybe start at 50 a unit and, kind of go from there. But what's your take, Major?
I think it's you can go by the rule, which is like the 1%, that would be your 1 unit, or you can, look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, what am I comfortable losing per bet? And, if you do your homework and you do your studying, if you have $1,000, your 1 unit could be 100. You could say, all right, I'm going to win. Let's do it. If whatever you start with, be comfortable with losing it, because there's going to be down swings in this game. It doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter how good of a handicapper you are. There's downswings, and you got to be okay with losing, and you got to be able to come back and try not to chase. If you stay disciplined, just pick a unit that you're comfortable losing. That's my bet.
I think the key is though staying disciplined. So say you do have $1,000 and you start out at $100 a unit, for example, and you do win. That doesn't mean bump it up to 200, 400. You know what I mean? You gotta stay consistent at that and build it up for a while before bumping up your units. It took me, I don't know about you, Sharp, but it took me, I've been doing this 5+ years now, and it took me years to get where I'm at now. And that was starting out at like $50 to $100 a unit is how I started. So
I started lower than you, man. I started at 25 a unit. I just like to have, if anyone new, I like to have 40 units to play with. To be honest with you. And I kind of went on that scenario, and I upped my units to have always 40 units available. My style is very different though with the units thing. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't recommend doing 100 you don't want 10 units, but if you say, hey, I want 30 units available, then do the math. 100 divided by 30, pull your calculator out, your scientific shit. I don't know. Y'all know what's up. Like do the division, right? Like that's just my style. I like to have like 30 to 40 units to play with. When I started, I'm like, I want 40 units to play with. So do that. You know what I'm saying? But everyone brought some valuable info here as far as like what to do. But if you're not starting with at least 1,000, save up. I always tell guys like, yo, I'm ready. I'm like, how much you want to come in at 5? And I'm like, yo, with all due respect, for this to be advantageous for you, and however long it saves you, man. Yo, we got sports all year. It ain't going nowhere. Like save up 1,000 at least that you're comfortable losing, and you're ready. And then we'll talk about unit sizing, and you start winning up the units a bit. But typically I like to keep 40 units in the bank versus my bankroll. And then you could just unit size as you go. And that's the easiest way to do it. So that would be my advice on that.
Yeah, I think that's all good advice, and you said great feedback. So shout out to us. Let's get to NCAA basketball here, and I should have let off with this, Sharp, at the beginning of the show. I completely forgot. So much being thrown at us.
It's good stuff, though. It's good stuff. I like this really kind of conversation. I love this kind of conversation.
It's fantastic, and it adds such a different element, to the show to allow people to, get some information from us. And it's more than just picks, and that's why we're here. We're here to interact with everybody. But we are doing a little contest, Sharp. Are we ready to unveil that?
Oh yeah, we're doing a dope contest. Yo, Major, tell them about the contest, my dude.
So in the month of March, it is obviously March Madness. I know my brain's moving a mile a minute today. March Madness. We have a March Madness bracket challenge contest. It's going to be run through ESPN tournament bracket. I actually already did set up the group. We're going to have rules and different stuff released as we get a little bit closer. I'll have like a little flyer out, and obviously we'll retweet it and get out to everybody. But I think the prizes are pretty damn good for a free group.
Free, bro. There's one thing you got to do is it's like a screenshot thing. It's nothing crazy, but it's free. Nothing. And the prizes. Major, tell these people about the prizes, my dude.
All right. So let's start off with third place. Third place is a piece of unique Betting in the Trenches merch. So I think that's kind of cool.
I rock that, bro. It's a hoodie for the crib. You know what I'm saying? It's cold out here.
Logo's sick. We're cool dudes. You want tune into the show? You can you wear it while you watch. Come on, why not? Second place is an NCAA basketball jersey of your choice, up to $120 retail value. So your favorite team, who won you big money this year, whatever you want, a Michigan State jersey to burn it if they lose tonight, which I hope they don't. Whatever you want. And then first place, the grand prize. So whoever has the best bracket in the challenge, it will be a $500 cash prize. So whatever, whatever money transfer thing you use, we will Venmo, PayPal, whatever you want to do. And we will have to kind of discuss if there's ties and different stuff like that, Sharp. We don't have everything, ironed out.
We'll make sure there's a clear first place winner. We're going to do something. Yeah, don't worry. But yeah, it's 500 cash. We ain't talking about Amazon. We ain't talking about gift cards. Just the vanilla Visa shits. This is cash, however you want it, baby. You want that shit in nickels, bro? It's empty in nickels, whatever you want. It's $500, man. And that's free to join. Free to join. You don't ask much.
Exactly. And, if you guys didn't notice, I'm Italian. Obviously, you probably know it from the Chicago accent. Even if you want that cash in the envelope, we'll put it under the table for you. No problem.
We'll come meet you at fucking your hole in the wall Italian restaurant. You know them all in the east side of this region right there. We'll come meet you. Get you the chicken parmesan. I'm Italian too, man. So I'm with that, bro. We throw in the envelope. We'll all wear suits up in there, all black on black. We'll make it happen. But we're really excited for this. We hope you guys definitely participate. It's a free contest. You're gonna do a bracket this year, bro.
Everybody does
Sharon one. At the front desk of your job, she does a bracket. You're gonna do a bracket, bro. Might as well get interactive with it. So
exactly. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be very you're not gonna have to do much. It's literally gonna be a screenshot of a few things. We won't bore you with the details right now. We will be releasing that. We got a nice flyer coming out with all the details. So stay tuned for that. But we are doing it. So everybody on here right now, you got first dibs on that information. So, and to tail off of that, why don't we get into our NCAA basketball picks to kind of close off the show here? What are we looking at, Midwest Mike? What do you got tonight?
I think me and you agree on probably my only college basketball play tonight, and that's Baylor -4.
We do.
I'm going to have 2 3-unit plays tonight, 3-unit max plays, one on the Suns +2 that we discussed earlier, and one on Baylor -4. I think it's a great spot for Baylor coming off that loss against Kansas the other night. We were on Baylor, unfortunately, and lost that. But Baylor's had 2 games back now since this little COVID break, and I do not see them being rusty here. I see them coming out hot, coming out strong. Baylor shot 6 for 26 from 3-point land. They're typically one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. And I don't see them shooting 6 for 26 again. I just don't. What's your take?
I'm 100% right with you. I had that exact stat from 3. Baylor's dominance. They're dominant inside, shooting over 55% from 2, 69% at the rim. And West Virginia allows opponents to score at will inside, allowing 52.1 from 2 and 60% at the rim. Obviously, their 3-point shooting is lights out. West Virginia, they're the worst 2-point shooting team in the conference, under 46%. So is West Virginia going to be able to play a consistent game? Baylor's a good defense. Kind of a bounce back spot here, obviously, because they did lose their first loss of the season against Kansas. And, the 2 games that they did come back from COVID, they started slow. So Midwest, like you said, you want them to come out and, start fast, get back to playing, bracket style, March Madness style of basketball. And this is a perfect opportunity for them to do that. It's a 2-unit play for me at that -4. I might move it up to 3, but I haven't, as we're on the show, I don't know if that line shifted. So I might up the units on that one. I am very, very confident in that one. And the other one that I am on is Illinois +8. I threw that in because Ao DeSumo, he was questionable. We still don't know if he's actually playing. So I just threw 1 unit on it against Michigan. I think if he plays, they can cover that 8. I'm not sure if Illinois gets the win because Michigan is just absolutely on a tear. But I threw that unit on just because 8's a lot of points. 8's a lot of points. Michigan's been covering at will. And, I just think when AO plays, Illinois is a completely different team. They have the talent to beat anyone on any given night. And, if he does play, I like them to be able to cover that 8. So those are my spots. Sharp, are you going to give us your theatrics? Are we going to be able to witness this greatness?
I didn't get to test the audio, but don't worry. I'll make up for it. By the way, good number on Illinois at 8, because I think he's like 6.5 right now. But here's the one play I locked in and I gave out, and I'm sure some of you guys follow me. We are backing the 2021 Hall of Fame inductee right now, Michigan State Spartans at home against the Hoosiers. Yes, the hoodie's on hold, yo. I was supposed to pick it up today. I said, yo, you're not going to understand this, lady, but I need to hold that because the game kind of revolves around. Don't worry, I'll hit you up. We're backing Michigan State tonight, and it's a 3-unit play. And yes, I'm very confident in it. Now, yeah, were they on my held no list? Of course. But last few games doesn't mean I wasn't watching. Last few games, like, okay, this is what I expected. I expected it to tail off. Yeah, last day and he got slacked. But, yo, that's kind of shit happens. You can't win them all. But I'm very impressed with what I see. And the things that they're doing better, Indiana has a hard time stopping. And for me to be backing Michigan State in any capacity outside of shitting on them, it's for real. So, yeah, I love Michigan State. If you get 2.5, get it. Don't pay more than 120 for it now. 3 is okay. But we are backing the inductee Hall of Fame 2021 Hell No List champs, Michigan State. If they lose tonight, not only will there be theatrics, there will be apparel, there will be a show based on that team. So this is their chance tonight. But I'm confident they'll get it done. And that's the one play I'm on. There's a lot of games out there I'm looking at. I'm looking at the Baylor, West Virginia. It's Super Tuesday. That's a real thing for anyone who's follow college basketball. It's Super Tuesday. A lot of good games out there. I'm looking at a few. But Michigan State is locked in 3-unit play. Let's fucking go. And that's all I got.
Let's get it, man. I really hope that they took your induction, they crumbled it up, they threw it away, they said F you, and they're going to cash for you tonight. They have to. I think your mic went out, Sharp. Yeah, you're out. Yeah, your mic's out. I don't know what happened. But yeah, I hope that they cash for him. Midwest, what do you think about that play, Michigan State?
I like it. I think it's a good spot for Michigan State coming off that loss on the road in Maryland. I might even tail it.
Yeah, it was definitely a look for me. I didn't break it down too much. I was just on Baylor and Illinois, and I don't try to get too crazy with college because, like I've said, it's not my specialty. Yeah, you're back.
You're back.
Okay. Yeah, they're at the podium. They're waiting for the votes to come in. It's as close as you can be without being there. Tonight's game is everything. This is it. Trust me. People ask, "Am I going to bet them again?" I'm like, I'm not saying I'm never going to bet them again, but they showed me enough, and I've watched, and I think we're good here. I think we're really good. So. Yeah, this is a 3-unit play, but in my book, in my credit book with these guys, in terms of teams that have, what kind of credit line they got with me, this is it for them. This is it. So it's like a 300 unit for me in terms of just how I will watch this whole game. I know I said I'll watch the whole game. I will. I don't give a shit what kind of fight I get into. I'll be watching this whole damn game. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, I hope they cash, man. They have no choice. As me and the Pops and anybody who watches this show and caught the last couple episodes of the football podcast. My buddy LaPops couldn't join us today, but Midwest Mike, special guest, you came on, you killed it, buddy. Really appreciate you coming on, man. And any closing last words from either one of you guys before we sign off here?
Well,
I just want to.
Oh, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. You're the guest. I gotta shut up. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say I appreciate the opportunity. It's been a fun hour here. I really appreciate it. Roddy Mack, I apologize about that. I did just correct that. I don't know what happened. It was that play I put in late last night. Must have been half asleep. So sorry that it came in on West Virginia, but I just got that corrected on Baylor. So, and I'll be posting my full card here right after this is done.
Me and Midwest Mike are going to be doing a book it. So again, I'm not trying to plug anything right here. Okay. I'm just telling you where things are at. If you need a book, holler at me. I said that earlier, but me and Mike are doing a book it app. If you don't know what the book it app is, it's like Best Burst, but in my opinion, I think it's way better. We're doing a book it app. If you don't know the app, get it. Midwest Mike at Sharp Dimes at Major Playz. Me and Midwest Mike are doing a giveaway only on book it. If you don't know what I'm saying, DM me where you follow me. But we are doing a giveaway on there. The details will come. I just want to hint at that. That's just a straight up giveaway, yo. And you got the contest. So, we throwing it out there for you guys. But this is a book it only giveaway that me and Midwest Mike are doing. So be on the lookout for that. But join this contest me and Major Playz have going on. 500 first place, second place, dude. It's $120 value, but we saw some throwbacks on there, some Vince Carter throwbacks on there that were like $120. I mean, college jerseys, they get it popping, bro. That 120 is basically a limitless amount on there. You literally. So stay tuned for all that. But we appreciate the questions, the interaction. We appreciate the jokes, and we appreciate you giving it to us and taking it on the chin as well. Always glad having you guys, bro.
Yeah, it has been fantastic. The interaction today has been great, and it's only going to grow from here. Sharp Dimes, as always, it's a pleasure being on here every Tuesday and Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. Midwest Mike, thank you again for joining us. You are welcome back any time, my man. DM me, text me, call me, whatever. You are welcome back anytime. Having your expertise on here is just fantastic. I'm learning, as like I said in the beginning of the show, as much as everybody else viewing the show. So it's been great having both of you guys on. And let's win some cash tonight, people. Come on, we have to stay looking good, stay looking fresh, and let's get some cash tonight, people.